Hi, I'm Maggie Sweet. I'm the Executive Director of the Thoroughbred Retirement Foundation. As many of you know, the TRF offers lifetime sanctuary to retired racehorses at farms across the country. Some of the horses in our herd come right from the racetrack. Others come to us in their teens or even 20s after a second or third career as a sport horse or lesson horse, for example. Our herd of nearly 400 is split evenly between Sanctuary and Second Chances farms. Our Sanctuary farm horses live in happy companionship at places like Ashby Station, which is nestled in the breathtaking Shenandoah Valley of Virginia. I encourage you to take a minute to look at the farm posters we have displayed around the venue to learn more about each one. We also have posters for our Second Chances farms, which are located at correctional facilities across the country. I could tell you about the countless benefits of these programs, but instead I'd like to introduce you to a special guest who is here tonight. She will speak more eloquently and more poignantly about Second Chances than I ever could. Please welcome Jules Stowell.
Hello, good evening. Thank you all for being here and supporting such an amazing program. My name is Jules Stowell, and I'm the Director of Client Relations at now Brennan Stables. Prior to this role, I was known as inmate E53130. I'm often asked what it's like going to prison and if I regret it. No, because if it wasn't for me going to prison and being a part of the TRF Second Chances program, I would not be where I am today or standing here before you. So please allow me a few minutes to tell you a little bit about my story. Early on, there were high hopes of a promising future for me. I always excelled in school and was headed down the right path to accomplishing my dream of becoming a doctor. I grew up with a large, loving, and supportive family who did everything in their power to provide an amazing life for me. They did their best to instill good morals in us and to be hardworking and overall wholesome, thriving individuals. It was not due to their lack of love or parenting skills that caused me to end up where I did. A toxic relationship, a poor choice of friends, and a multitude of bad decisions led me to being separated from the world I once knew. To say it was well needed or well deserved was an understatement. In 2017, I was 24 years old and sentenced to 6 years at Lowell Correctional Institute. Being sentenced to prison and grasping the reality of it was a challenging thing. I was no angel. I was lost, broken, and headed down a path of destruction. To be faced with the harsh reality of what my life was going to become for the next 6 years, I became depressed, numb, and felt as though my life was ending before it had even started. When you're sentenced to prison, everything is stripped away from you. Not only are you beaten down, but you're degraded as a human being. You become bitter, detached, and lose all sense of hope and emotion. For the first year of my incarceration, I continued down the same familiar path. I soon came to realize that it was time to change and knew it was up to me to do so. I had to find a way to occupy my time and to better myself, and over the next few years, that's exactly what I did. Upon walking through the gates of hell, something I never expected to see caught my eyes. Horses up on a hill grazing in a pasture. I always had a love for animals and a burning desire to own a horse, but growing up on the beach, it wasn't really a thing. Never in a million years would I have expected that it would take me going to prison to bring this dream to reality. I started asking questions and soon came to learn about the equine vocational program that was offered to qualifying individuals. At the time, I was not at the specific location or did not meet the requirements. I gathered as much information as possible and set my mind onto doing everything in my power to get into the program. After 3 long years, it finally happened. I will never forget that day. It was truly one of the best days of my life. Getting to leave the prison after 3 years was a big deal. I'll never forget that first ride over the hill to the barn. When we reached the top and I looked over the open rolling land and all the horses, I was overcome with emotion. My heart was so full that it brought tears to my eyes. I was blessed to be in the program for a little over 2 years, and during that time, my life changed drastically. I was beginning to heal, learning to love myself again, and started gaining my confidence back. I had a purpose and responsibilities again. I now had something to care for and look forward to. My healing nature kicked in, and not just for the animals, but for myself. As I was nurturing these beautiful beings, they were nurturing me as well. I often found myself drawn to the wild, misunderstood, and hard to handle ones. The ones that required a little more care and attention. I could relate to them, as I was broken and misunderstood as well. I too needed patience, care, and affection. These animals taught me more about myself than I could have ever imagined. They healed me and made me whole again. Not only did I better myself emotionally and mentally during my time in the program, but I learned valuable skills, making me an asset to any employer in the industry. I learned a multitude of things, from farrier work to identify different ailments and medical conditions, how to treat these issues and administer medications in a variety of ways, how to operate various farm equipment, how to service said farm equipment, and the guys are often dumbfounded that this little beach girl can show them a few things at times and get her hands dirty. Fencing, mowing, weed eating, using a chainsaw, you name it. I can do it. 90% of the time, if I can't do it, I can figure it out. One of the most beautiful, memorable learning moments for me out there was from the great John Evans. He was the current instructor at the time. Now, mind you, this man has been in the industry for ages and is not only a wealth of knowledge, but a true hard-working countryman. If something needs to be done or fixed, he most certainly knows how to do it. We'd often wander into the office needing advice on how to do something, and his answer would be, I've seemed to forgot. Go ahead and grab the manual. This was one of the many beauties in the program, the ability to think freely and outside of the box, to troubleshoot and to figure it out on our own. He didn't micromanage us. He gave us the freedom to figure it out, to work together, and to achieve the goal of fixing whatever was the problem. I once again was excelling in my studies and worked my way up to being a teacher's aide, which was a rewarding task. Not only was I able to share my experience and what I had learned with others, but I was getting to watch the magic happen within them as well. So as the mission statement reads, saving horses and changing lives, I am living proof of that. The TRF Second Chances program not only changed my life, but continues to bless it abundantly. I am forever grateful and indebted to this program. I thank you to everyone who not only makes this program what it is, but who supports it and makes it possible. Remember, when you're supporting this program, you are not saving horses, but you're changing lives. Thank you.
Not sure how I can follow that with any sort of strong things to say, but I want to thank you all first for being here tonight. My name is John Canny. I'm the president of the TRF board. This is our premier event of the summer, and thank you so much for being here. Jules put it perfectly, saving horses, changing lives. The Second Chances program has become such a huge cornerstone of the TRF. It has caused us to change our mission statement to allow us to focus even more on that. This is 41 years of TRF. We expect to be here for another 41 plus. So thank you again for your support. Please drink heartily, eat heartily, and donate generously. The raffle and the auction are going to close at 7:15, and the winners will be announced then. Thank you all.